Fremde Orte was actually a project based on an idea Michael Raute, the founder of Solistens Ensemble Kaleidoscope, had. They work a lot as an ensemble with artists, choreographers, light designers, and they had a strong desire to work with an architect at some point as well. And the concept of the evening actually asked for an architect to create a space. Fremde Orte means estranged or strange places. It's a concert evening that is staged and directed. It's about looking for your identity, not knowing where you are in the quest for finding something unknown. The composers we chose are based on this concept and their pieces of work, which is Jennifer Walsh with Passengers, Yannis Xenakis with Aurora, Joseph Haydn with Symphony No. 64, and Claude Vivier with two pieces. One is Et je reverrai cette ville étrange and Zipango. All these pieces relate in some sort of way to a search of identity. I think it's an important part to start thinking about what do I want to achieve throughout the evening by asking questions. How to create an estranged or strange place. How would one feel strange? How would one feel orientationlessness? How would you enforce people to lose their identity? How would you sort of start losing balance? How would you not know where you're allowed to go and where you're allowed to be? How to break up this whole convention of having a normal standard concert evening where it's very clear the division, there's the audience, there's the musicians. We were trying to lose all of that and just break all structures that were known to people in order to get them started with being confused when they enter the space. One of the first ideas to get people into codes that were all equal and all the same, that already gives you a very strange notion. They entered a very dark space, which also should enforce this feeling of not knowing where to go and also maybe not being able to recognize anymore the partner you've gone to the concert with. So that was our first sort of step into this journey to an estranged place. I simply just researched origami and found this pattern on the internet. Paul Jackson, who's one of the leading origami specialists, taught how to fold this. So I folded it and then stuck it into my model, and clearly I thought, what an amazing space it would be if you could play this. It has something very organic. That was really basically it. It was the concept, the idea, how to fill the space with this structure. And that's where the journey really started, how to build the thing. You can't just scale up paper, it's just impossible. I tried many times and I tried many things and none of it seemed to work. And that was really the challenge. Basically, after consulting many engineers and having a lot of support and help by friends, luckily, I came up with a solution of just spanning fabric and cutting 1,054 cardboard parallelograms by hand, sticking them onto a fabric, hanging it all up, folding it, which was, I think, the most challenging part of the construction of it. I divided the whole ceiling into 9 pieces, which actually turned out really well because it doesn't even fill a pickup truck, that whole structure, which spans 24 meters by roughly 10 meters. But it folds together like this, which is great. I had lots of friends helping. That was absolutely necessary. We transported it then to the Radialysystem, where it initially got performed and had its debut. The big challenge was how to create the movement. we came up with a pivot system, basically nothing else but how a teeter-totter actually works upside down. All running along one spine, hanging trusses all along that one spine. That gave us this amazing movement, this organic movement that we wanted to achieve.
Ja, ein paar Imperfektionen, aber eigentlich minimal dafür, dass wir haben ein paar Seile, die sind ein bisschen zu kurz. Alles aber, woran man rankommt, bis auf eines. Alles gut.
We also had amazing technicians who were working night and day and trying to help me to figure out how to build it. They came up with a solution so we could also play with heights. We could draw the ceiling down to quite low and almost press people into a very confined space, which was great because it allowed, again, a variable that we could play with. We did wacky things with light, also red and blue, just to have this kind of sense that you might be in a nightclub, but hang on, we're in a classical concert. How does that work? To give that juxtaposition. I felt the first moment I've arrived when the musicians actually clapped after that first rehearsal, playing the ceiling with the lights, and that was magical. Yeah, it was great.